Hi there. Hey, so if you're watching this, then that means that you've completed Netflix, watched everything that was available on Amazon Prime, that new Disney thing that they've just chucked up, probably watched everything on YouTube and completed the internet. So welcome, thank you for finding us. This was a really good chat we had with Paul. We talked for hours and it flew by, which was great. Paul's a really interesting guy. He'll introduce himself, but he's essentially was the drummer in 20 Balls Each with Gav. We've got a whole load of stories, some really interesting stuff. The story about how he got his job, well, I won't ruin it, but he had a very interesting job, and the story about how he got that job is well worth a listen to. He also tells a lot of good stories about Gav, which is never a bad thing. The reason I'm doing this is because we forgot to talk about some important stuff, namely some projects that Paul's been working on with another friend of Gav's and Paul's, and a guy I know called Shay. One of the things they do is a thing called Living Amongst Us, which I will put a link to somewhere around here, or maybe even below. I'm pointing below in case you don't understand the concept of below. That's where it'll be, down there somewhere. Dodgy fingernails. And there's a whole load of links to Shay stuff, to Paul stuff. It's definitely worth checking out. Both very talented guys, do some really cool stuff. We forgot to ask Paul the single most important question that we ask a lot of the time, which is standing or sitting when it comes to wiping. You'll be disappointed to hear that Paul is a stander. Everybody knows that's wrong. It's a bit like smooth peanut butter. But I think Gav and I have had a chat with him via WhatsApp, and I think we've actually converted him. So who knows? Excellent. All right. I hope you enjoy it. And there was supposed to be. This was supposed to be episode 3. Episode 2 we recorded with Steve and Damo, and basically every single one of us made some sort of a fuck up, which means you can't see it. It's probably the most wood thing we've ever done. But like Steve's audio ran out at 10 minutes from the end. Damo didn't turn his on. I forgot to record something or another, and my internet was dropping out all the time. Gav got some weird feedback or something. Anyway, basically, we fucked it up. So there is a third episode coming, but we thought we'd put this one out now, just in case people are interested. This is more interesting than the wood one anyway. Excellent. All right. Thanks to Paul. Thanks to you guys, like all 2 of you maybe who have watched this. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.
I'll conduct a full investigation later.
Have I got wood for you? 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 Have I got wood? Have I got wood for you? Have I?
And now, please welcome the host of
Have I got wood for you? Gav Hustleby.
Yeah.
Perfect timing, as always.
Because you'd never be able to line them up.
That is a decent amount of growth you've got going on there.
Oh, it's hefty.
Yeah, the beard's looking quite big as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more grey than anything else.
That's all right. Actually, you sound like you've had a bit of a cold or something, mate.
Hay fever.
Corona.
Yeah, corona fever. I'm allergic to coronavirus.
Lots of people are, apparently.
I reckon I had it right at the beginning of March. I had a horrendous cough that I've still got. It hasn't quite really properly gone.
Did you have any other horrible symptoms?
I had the worst sore throat ever. I thought I had. What happened was I thought I had tonsillitis, and I went to the doctor to say I think I got tonsillitis, and she looked and said, "No, you have a viral throat infection."
I hope you put her right. I hope you told her, "Excuse me, sir,"
or "Madam,"
whichever
you are.
Yeah, I think you find it's tonsillitis.
Yeah.
Me, but apparently, my no knowledge of medical history whatsoever, I'm telling you, this is tonsillitis.
So they said, tonsillitis is a bacterial throat infection, but they said I had a viral throat infection. which was right when Corona started being in the news at first. So then it was just the worst. I couldn't sleep for like a week, and then I had the worst cough. I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks. It was awful. And then
That's pretty brutal.
after that, like, I've really slowly started getting better. And I still have a bit of a tickly cough like 2.5 months later.
Jesus.
I reckon you had it.
I reckon.
Yeah. So you're
So
a survivor, Gav.
I'm immortal now.
How have you been, Paul? You haven't suffered or anything?
No, not health-wise anyway. No, probably just like everyone else, stuck indoors most of the time, doing a bit of homeschooling with the kid, trying to keep busy. Still doing studying because I'm studying graphic design at the moment. So.
Are you?
Yeah, so doing it remotely is more awkward than I thought it would be, but we're still getting our assignments emailed to us. You know, just getting through it. It's nothing.
Where are you doing that? What part
At
of
home.
Dublin?
It's a place in Finglas. It's a training facility, which sounds really covert and grim.
Yeah.
And it is.
What do you come out of it with?
Level 6.
So like a PG
qualification.
PG dip, something like that.
Something like that, maybe. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you say PG tips?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
PG
come out with,
tips.
an extra large box of PG tips.
Yeah, but one that Paul has designed the type font for, so
Yes.
actually it looks fucking good. And has a random guy just shitting on a village as it's. We should probably explain this, shouldn't we? We should start this properly because this is good conversation. But yeah,
This is a quality conversation.
What? You want me to do the intro?
Quality, Gav. This is all
they're always
gold.
the best when you do it.
This is all gold.
Yeah, so this is the Woodcast, episode 2 or 3, depending, because we did another one with Damo and Steve, but Damo didn't turn on his recording until 17 minutes in.
Brilliant. Excellent.
Steve
Classic
turned us
Damo.
off 10 minutes from the end.
Yeah, we had a few
Nice.
other, so we have to redo that one. So this might be episode 2 or 3, which doesn't really seem that important now I've talked about it for 10 minutes. But and this is Paul, who, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Paul.
There you go. And I used to be in a band with Paul.
Yeah. Still are, kind of.
Yeah, we're doing a reunion. We were going to do a reunion in about a month's time,
Those
wasn't it?
pesky kids.
Defeated by the virus.
Yeah.
Although we might be doing it next year, hopefully.
I think we'll be doing it next year.
It was you, Paul, Gar,
Yep.
the Adrian,
The Adrian. And the previous bass player to the Adrian, which is Kieran Mangan, playing second guitar.
Kieran.
Kieran, yep.
Kieran.
Or as we call him, Zyron.
Americans called him Siron.
Yeah,
They didn't
Zyron.
pronounce it for some reason.
So he doesn't spell it Keiron or something like
No.
that.
Z-I-R-N. I think we put him on record.
Amazing.
Zion. Or
Zyron.
Marley.
Zyron.
Almost, with an R in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then our mate Shay came down, who was always like our extra member. Took some photos. And stuff.
Yeah. Shay is pretty much being the other member of 20 Bulls each who's not been on stage. He's been with us since the very early days, taking photographs, handling merch stands, driving where we're all absolutely munted. So Shay's their unofficial / official 5th / 6th member.
Yeah, he's been on most of our adventures, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
At the moment, we're kind of thinking there'll be 1, maybe 2 gigs in Dublin. If things go well, we might, I don't know, go outside Dublin, but we've no concrete plans at the moment.
Cool. But hopefully we can do the Dublin one with you. That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to.
Yep. Quality.
Because that way, we know that the standards, we haven't got to improve our performance or anything like that. We know that.
You mean we haven't got to practice?
Yeah, we can just.
But is that not that's your standard kind of approach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Quality.
It's like Gav said, lockdown really hasn't affected Wood in any way, shape, or form. We're doing exactly the same as we've always done. In fact, we had a conversation for an hour the other day, which Yeah, even
we're
when
do-
we
we're
do
doing
get together
more.
and practice, we don't have an hour's conversation. That's for sure.
We've got questions, right? I've got 5 questions for Paul,
Quality.
and that Luke can potentially answer as well
Cool.
All
if you want. Optional answering. And then Luke, you've got what? 5 questions for Paul as well.
5 questions, which
And-
makes a total of
29
good.
and a half.
Yeah, which is why we've named this section.
I got 10 questions for you. I got 10 questions for you. I got 10 questions. I got 10 questions. I got 10 questions for you.
10 questions.
Yeah, very good. And then, Paul, have you flipped this on its head and have you written some questions for us?
I've written 5 questions for you guys.
Excellent. So that section will be called Five Questions Back into Your Face.
Yeah!
Paul, hang on, sorry, before we start. Paul,
Yeah.
did you say what you did in 20 balls each? Because that might be relevant to some of the questions, I guess.
Oh, I didn't. I was the drummer. Probably the best drummer that Gav has ever been on stage with, right?
In 20 balls each. Yeah.
Oh, and Paul,
Yep.
can I just check as well? And I mean, I can edit this bit out. Not. Am I allowed to ask you about how?
Yes, you are.
Excellent. Right, then I'll leave that bit in.
Right. Okay. So the first question is a music-related question. So I'm interested if there's a particular record that you just think sounds really cool, and it's one of those ones where you think, shit, I wish I'd played on that record, to say,
Ooh.
that's a great record. And obviously drums for you, and Luke, guitar. You can answer that.
Or
That is a
is
good
there a record
question.
that Paul wished he played guitar on?
Well,
Whoa,
yeah,
hello.
if you want. I mean, any.
Yeah.
Whatever you wish.
Okay. Will I answer first, or Luke, do you have an answer
You go,
ready?
mate, you go. You're the guest.
I think I would have to say, it's probably no surprise to Gav, but I think I would have to say, and it's one of my favourite albums, is Urban Discipline
Yeah.
by
I would have guessed
Biohazard.
that.
The sound quality of it, even though it's quite lo-fi, they obviously recorded it in a very small recording studio. The sound quality of it is amazing. The drum sound is fucking unbelievable. And just I think pound for pound, every song on it is pretty much a banger. It's unbelievable from top to bottom.
So the reason I would have guessed that as well is because of the groove on that album. It's like very
Big time.
Paul
Very,
groove.
very much so. Yeah. Very much so. It still has the New York hardcore feel to it, but it also has that kind of what would you call it? That kind of early 90s kind of groovy metal kind of thing going on
It's
as
got
well.
a groove and a bounce to it and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be my one.
I would have guessed that, Paul, because of this picture.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to put
I've
it.
no idea what the picture is, but
I know what it is.
okay.
All right. So the next question. Luke, did you want to answer that?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'd say I guess I don't know. It changes every time I listen to. Like, it's really difficult to just go. It's like someone asking me what my favourite band is or what my favourite.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
tricky.
some of the later Propaganda, I would love to have been able to play on the later Propaganda. Not necessarily because the albums are amazing. I mean, they are great, but it would just mean that I am a million times better at playing guitar than I actually was. So if I could have got away with doing it, then maybe that.
Right, so the next question.
Yep.
If you had to naked arm wrestle a member of Wood, which one would it be?
Oof.
If you make the right suggestion, we could maybe relive it here as well.
Okay, so for everybody out there, give us the members of Wood. So we've got
Me, Luke,
Gav,
Me.
Luke,
Damo,
Damo,
and Steve.
and Steve. Okay. None of them are
Or
great.
Tristan. I mean, you could add Tristan in there if you want.
He was on the
Tristan?
first Wood recording and he left. He went to get a
Okay.
sandwich halfway through our first EP recording.
Never came back.
I never came back.
Amazing. I would have to say Damo. There's a reason why. because ties into 20 Bulls Each. When we went to America the second time, we had no bassist. Maybe the first time.
Yeah,
we had no bassist, so Damo came with us, played bass for 20 Bulls Each, and I saw Damo ass butt naked at least twice.
Yeah. He did come running out of the shower, naked around the room with
his hair flying in the wind.
I've got a
no
vision
shame
in my head that his genitals look very similar to your chin.
Storybox.
that is what I'm picturing.
I think my brain has actually blurred it out post-production, so I can't tell you. So yeah, to answer your question, it would be Damo because I've already seen the horror that is naked Damo. Who would you naked arm wrestle, Luke?
I probably wouldn't do it.
Why? I mean, yeah, me neither.
I'd probably pick Damo just because, same. Seen it flapping around in the room.
Seeing it, it's horrible.
So this is right. So, when you may not want to know this, but so obviously is renowned for many things in his life. He was a drummer for us for a long time, and he was unbelievably good at drinking. Like when I say good at drinking, he'd have 3 pints and he'd be pissed, but then he'd have another 17 pints and he'd stay the same amount pissed. It's incredible. Yep. And regularly we'd stay at his dad's place because his dad lived in Liverpool. So if we'd been off around wherever playing gigs and stuff, we'd stay at his dad's place because it was quite a decent distance back to Plymouth from there. So it's sort of hour and a half, 2 hours in the van back from there. So we would quite often stay at his dad's place. And on one occasion I woke up. Empty dustbins. One night I was asleep, put his actual anus on my nose.
That is horrific.
Yeah, talking about seeing things flapping around a lot. I didn't see any of it, and I only found out much later.
I saw him, we played in Oma once, and I saw him, he spectabled you.
I remember that. I remember that. He did. You were asleep on the floor near a kitchen table.
There you go. That sounds
about right. He did the spectables.
That was nice.
He once, we played somewhere, and I was chatting to someone, and a Henry Hoover went on, and then I just heard the noise of a penis flapping around inside a Henry Hoover, like that. Is nothing you will ever forget. I didn't feel like I imagined it would. That was his only comment about the whole thing. So there we go. Good question, Gav.
Yes, quality questions, mate.
All right. So the next one is less musical related than the previous one.
Okay.
So if you had a choice between fighting an angry kangaroo or 12 angry porcupines, and you don't have to be naked necessarily if you don't want to be.
But I can be if I want to, right?
If you choose to be.
Wow, that's a bad matchup. Whatever way you paint it, isn't it?
Yeah. Kangaroo,
I guess I'd have to go with the kangaroo. I know kangaroo is dangerous and he'd probably kick you in half, but the thoughts of getting kebabbed by a load of angry porcupines.
By 12 of them. The fact that there's 12 of them.
Yeah, not 10. That would be...
No. Well, 10
would be ridiculous.
That'd be alright. 10 would be fine. 12, too much. I'd go with the kangaroo and probably still die, but not get spiked.
Okay, cool. What do you reckon, Luke?
As soon as you said it, porcupines. Kangaroo, that's what I meant to say, yeah. Not porcupines is what I meant to say, yeah. Go with the kangaroo.
I'm going to have to take your first answer, I'm afraid. So.
Okay, alright, well, looks like I'm fighting 12 porcupines then. But you said I could maybe put on a beekeeper's costume or something, so...
Yeah, you could. Plus the kangaroo is busy anyway, he's on his way to Paul's house.
Yeah, true, yeah, I've already booked in that fight.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is back to music. I'm interested, what was the single best thing that you would say you accomplished musically or with the band?
That's a good question.
Because I consider that when we started 20 Bulls Each, we didn't particularly have any massive expectations, but we ended up doing loads of cool stuff. Was there anything that stood out in particular?
I don't know whether there's a thing that stood out. I think the kind of amalgamation, like you said, of starting off and just kind of being a bit casual about it and playing the odd gig, and kind of, it's almost like, you know, you blink and you look back and you realise we toured Detroit, we played the East Coast, we played in that little village in Italy that had the backdrop of the Alps and everything like that. We played in Poland, we played in the UK a bunch of times. Like, you can't really put a price on that sort of stuff. I know it sounds cheesy, but the whole, when you look back on it and you think about what you've accomplished, it's like that kind of, like, even stuff like Punk's Picnic, like playing an open air gig in front of a load of people, like that sort of stuff is great. That's the kind of thing that sticks with me. Not necessarily the recording, because other than our very last trip to the recording studio, I hated recording. I always found it stressful. Our last trip, what was that guy's name? Mick, was it? Or Michael?
What's the studio called? We'll put a thing in the bottom.
Yeah,
I'll look
he
it
was
up. Track Mix. That's what it is.
Track Mix Studio. That's it. It was really cool. He was really laid back. He kind of gave us our time, and he just said, "Look, I'll just sit here and I'll help you when you need it." And we fucking flew through it.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing as well, didn't he? He was cool.
Yeah, 3 or 4 songs. We burned through it, and it sounded really good. But I think, to answer your question, I would just say being able to be mates in a band and kind of hit the road and just have a good time. I think that's what kind of sums it up for me.
Interesting, yeah, that's cool. Luke, do you have a particular thing?
I don't think we ever achieved anything really, but that's certainly the best thing. No, genuinely, like, it was, you know, we all the bands I've ever been in were toilet circuit bands and stuff, really, which is great, and that's the best thing about it, really. You know, we were lucky enough to play with a couple of different bands that were pretty cool, but the big one, really, just that, exactly that. Like, there was a group of 5 or 6 of us, 7 or 8, really, probably, if you include everybody, and not just, you know, we're all really good friends still, and we just have like. Well, I think I always looked at it as all the bands I've ever been in. Generally, we've all just been mates who happen to be in a band. Yeah, and you can't go wrong with whatever you're doing. If you're doing it with your mates, you're gonna have a laugh.
Absolutely,
which is
absolutely.
Cool. But also, you know, I've met people like you doing this, you know, and stuff like that, and you know, it's cool. You meet lots of really nice people along the way and stuff, and yeah.
That's a good point. I agree with that. I met loads of really interesting people.
Yeah, and you never know who you're going to end up talking to.
Exactly.
One of the last times we played in Dublin, we did a Beatsteaks song, and I was outside. You know, like Thomas Hash, you have to go outside to get some fresh air and stuff, because it is just all underground. And I was outside just, you know, getting some fresh air, having a drink, and these German kids came up to us and were like, "Oh, you played the Beatsteaks song?" And I was like, "Yeah. How do you know the Beatsteaks?" And they were talking about being from Germany and stuff, and they didn't actually really like the Beatsteaks, but they just knew that song because apparently in Germany Beatsteaks are enormous, and when they release a song, it sort of goes into the charts and stuff. So, so that was really cool. It was really nice to get to meet just loads of random and see things and do things, which was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so the final question is an either-or question again. So both of these apply for like the rest of the year. So option 1 is you have to live in an underground bunker with very little space for the rest of the year. So like real deep down, dark, no windows. Like,
I'll take option 2.
Okay. Do you want to hear option 2?
Live in a deep underground bunker for 2 years.
The next one is to be able to hear all of Damo's thoughts for the rest of the year, like all the time, dreams, everything. You can just hear it; it's just there.
I'd take option 2.
Really?
I'd take that anyway.
I think if you were just sitting around and you were just hearing everything that went through Damo's head, it would just be kind of a soundtrack of AC/DC, Iron Maiden, stuff like that, and Motorhead and that kind of stuff. And then every now and then, wonder what I'll have for tea. That kind of stuff. Yeah. I think I'd go with that. I know I would probably have to sit through some reruns of like Top Gear, and doesn't he watch those things with lads with fixing up cars and shit like that?
Yeah.
But I'd bite the bullet and take it.
Okay, cool. And then do the underground thing the year after. Just for fun.
Just to get rid of it, detox.
Just for the laugh. Yeah, detox, exactly.
Yeah.
That concludes the 5 questions.
Quality.
Excellent. Cool. I'm going to ask you 5
questions,
questions now, if that's all right.
Hit me.
Okay, cool. So the first one is one I'm going to ask everybody. What did you have for breakfast today, Paul?
Cocoa Pops.
Nice. Gav?
I had the same as last time, which was muesli, which I made from its individual constituents that I purchased separately.
That sounds like way too much trouble.
Yeah, it does sound like too much trouble, but we're on lockdown and there's not much else going on. So.
Good point.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to ask you 3 real questions. So that was 1 real question. I'm going to ask you 2 open-ended questions because I think they're quite interesting things to ask you. So number 2, can you think of a category and then rank the members of Wood using that category, but don't tell me what the category is?
Yes, I can. Okay. I would probably... Oh, it's a tough one, actually.
Okay.
That's a tough one. Okay. I suppose it's only tough because I've got the category, my own category in my head,
exactly.
and I'm trying to rank you. Okay. I would say Gav, Damo, Luke, Steve.
Okay. And is there a least to worst or least to most in there, or is...
Not really. No, I don't think it's a least to worst or anything like that. No,
No,
it's just a grading scale.
I was first, so yeah.
What do you reckon the scale? What do you reckon? What do you reckon the classification is? Classification.
I don't know. I think height would work for that.
Well, I think he's got you and Steve you and Damo around the wrong way, maybe.
Damo's not taller than me.
Is he not?
No.
Must be the hair. Just gives it.
You should just fight him. Just fight him to make sure he's not taller.
Alright, but I wouldn't. I'm going to say that wouldn't be Paul's thing. I would say it's going to be something like fighting ability.
Least likely to own a skateboard.
So we've got fighting ability and least likely to own a skateboard.
Yeah.
I used to own a skateboard.
You did?
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're number 1. So you're the least likely to own a skateboard.
You mean the most likely?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. That's more like it. Yeah, come on, then, Paul. What was the classification?
The classification was classifying it in times you've made me piss myself laughing.
Okay, fair enough.
Excellent.
So Gav has definitely made me piss myself laughing the most.
But hang on, is this the times we've meant to make you piss yourself laughing, or has Gav just done something and it's just
exactly.
Even if there was one incident that happened that probably would put me to the top.
But don't say it because I think I'm going to be bringing it up.
Okay.
Paul, you as you said, you like the drummer in 20 Balls Each and stuff. And, you know, how long have you played drums for? Just out of interest.
Well, it depends on what you mean by playing drums. Let's be honest, it depends on what you mean. Really, realistically speaking, since we started 20 Balls Each, that's been realistic. I mean, I dicked around with them in the rehearsal studio with a couple of mates here and there, just kind of messing around. But it's only since we actually started 20 Balls that I kind of did it on any sort of regular basis whatsoever.
So that wasn't my question. My question was, so you've got a little girl, right?
I do.
And obviously you've got a lovely wife and everything.
Yeah.
So when your daughter grows up, would you like her to be to work in like the shipping industry like her mum, or be a drummer like Steve?
Oh God.
Like Steve.
Like Steve. Well, I think I'd have to go with the be a drummer like Steve because he is
absolutely. Yeah. I'd hate for it to be like a fucking
quality drummer.
Yeah.
He is top notch.
Sure.
Can we edit Paul's response from where he says things like top notch and all that to crap? Like voiceover.
Yep.
Steve
really
is
bad. Really bad voiceover.
Really drummer.
Yeah.
Excellent. These I haven't written these down, but I've just thought of them as I was going. But I thought it'd be quite interesting. So the first one is, I sort of alluded to it a minute ago. Can you tell us a story about how you got your last drum kit, please?
Okay.
Don't mention shop names, I would suggest.
No.
Okay.
So I had a friend. Okay, so this is going back when we were 20 Bulls each were rehearsing in an abandoned chair factory just outside Dublin city centre, and there's a big warehouse. Chair factory, yep.
Not share.
Nope. Chair, as in they made chairs, kitchens and shit.
Amazing.
That would be amazing. So, we had just kind of moved our stuff into this factory, and I had a shit knocked together piece of crap kit, and I got a phone call from a friend who said, do you want a drum kit? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want a drum kit. I fully expected just a second-hand kit that would have been better than what I had at that time. And this friend, again, I'm not going to mention any names, but he worked somewhere that stocked musical equipment.
But this is a friend, right? Not a friend.
No. This is just
an actual. Yeah.
No, this is actually a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, I'll drop up to you. When are you going in next Tuesday? So he rocks up in a fucking high-ace van, and he opens the back doors, and he had inside a Pearl Export rack system, like proper, like honestly, it was kind of, I don't know whether you'd class it stadium kind of class. It was absolutely top quality, absolutely unbelievable rack system. The whole shebang, double kick pedal, Chad Smith snare, China crash, hi-hats, the whole shebang. And I treated that kit like a piece of fucking shit. I treated that shit like a that kit got absolutely no respect.
But why did he just turn up with this kit? What was the situation? Like, he couldn't have just gone, oh, I've got this really good expensive kit, I'll just give it to Paul.
He was in charge of what was coming in and what was coming out, and someone made a mistake when cataloguing what came in, and he seen it, and he said, well, I can't take it, but I know someone who can, and that someone was me.
So essentially their stock said there was only one of this kit in
exactly
stock, and two had arrived.
Yep.
So he got rid of the problem, really.
He got rid of the problem.
Yeah, he solved the problem. It was good. Yeah.
I remember the day walking in, and you had set it up. I was like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? It was unbelievable. It was enormous.
Cool. Okay, and my final question to you is nothing to do with anything like music or anything like that, but you used to have what I think is probably one of the coolest jobs ever. Am I right in thinking that you used to colour for Marvel?
Yes, that is correct.
Could you tell us something about that? Because that's a fucking cool job, I think.
Yeah, that's gone back like 20 plus years now at this stage.
But what sort of comics did you work on?
Iron Man, Deadpool, Amazing Spider-Man, Wolverine, Punisher. I mean, I actually can't remember all. There was a couple of titles that we didn't work on, and they were usually like top X-Men titles. They were the ones that we didn't work on.
Yeah.
We had all the other contracts. So yeah, no, that was a pretty cool job. Yeah.
And was it all digital colouring by the time you were doing it?
All digital. Yep.
Yeah. And when the files came through to you, were you told, look, this is, I guess it's a team working it, right? It's not just one person colouring one comic.
Exactly, yeah. You'd work on a team of 3 or 4 maybe on one title.
And you sit down and they say to you, right, okay, in this scene here, it's the night, so the street lights are here and they're coming in like this. And
yeah, well, kind of. You would get your digital artwork black and white. You would often get that printed out black and white, and someone in the States, someone at Marvel, would have sketched out a rough idea of where the lights were going to go. And you would also get a preloaded palette. So no matter who's colouring it, Spider-Man's outfit would always be the same colours, basically, and skin tones and all that kind of stuff.
Amazing.
So it was just to ensure continuity throughout the whole comic. So you'd have skin tones, you'd have costume colours, but background colours, explosions, special effects would be kind of up to you. You just have to make it work.
Awesome.
But my Photoshop skills went through the roof within a year of working there. Like absolutely.
As good as some of the stuff that I did for posters. Isn't it?
Oh no, okay. Slow down now. Not that good.
I mean,
That's
you can't
another
teach
level.
talent.
Yeah, that's different.
You
That's
either got it
different.
or, yeah.
Don't make me feel bad about it.
I'll dig a few out and we can put them on the screen.
How did you get into doing that job? Did you do you
Well,
have
I just started. Which one of us? I just started doing it for fun, really. And
Oh right, yeah.
Microsoft Paint, believe it or not.
What?
Sorry.
I used to work in a Chinese takeaway.
Right, yeah, that seems like the logical way to get into colouring in for Marvel.
I was obviously into comics, so I'd be sitting there reading comics, and there was a guy that used to come in. He lived around the back of where I live, and he said, "Oh, I see you like comics," and I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Would you like a job colouring comics?" And I was just like, "Yeah, totally." And he gave me a phone number to ring, and I went for an interview, and I went in, and the guy sat me down, and he said, "This is where we colour comics." He was kind of showing me all around the place, and at the interview there was a computer set up in a room, and he said to me, I assume you know how to use Photoshop? And I said yes, and I had never ever used Photoshop before. I didn't really know what it was. And he said okay, and there was a girl there as well, and she said, she was like what would you call it, QC or something like that, quality control I think she was, and she said, "Okay, look, I'm just going to get you to colour this page." And I broke out from head to toe. I just broke out in this kind of film of cold sweat. And she said, "Okay, you can start colouring it there." And I remember vividly, I remember exactly what I did. I didn't know what I did then, but looking back, I remember what I did. I clicked on the gradient tool, and I tried to make a gradient happen, and it crashed the computer.
Oh,
and she just looked, and she went, "Oh, there's something wrong with that computer. It's always crashing." And she said, "Oh, look, it doesn't matter. Can you start on Monday?" So I started on Monday, and I walked in, and I sat down at my desk beside someone else, and I asked them, "How do you turn on the computer?" Now, I couldn't do it now, but I think it's because, when you're like 19, 20, you have a young brain. I learned by literally watching what everyone else was doing, and I just learned on the fly.
Yeah.
If you asked me to do something like that now, I'd shit myself.
I mean, we'll put a thing up, because your doodles and everything are amazing. Did the guy that came into your shop, into the takeaway, know that you could draw and stuff, or did he just literally go, "You read comics, do you want to go and colour in some comics"?
I think it was, he saw me reading like a Punisher graphic novel or something like that. I don't think he ever saw me drawing.
I mean, that is a, like, that's
that
someone
really
coming
is.
into my office at work and going, "Oh, you're listening to music. Do you want to go and work for Sony?"
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, can we put some links up below to Paul's doodle work?
Absolutely. Yeah. I might even put them up above just to piss you off.
Well,
At the exact time you say below, I'm going to stick it somewhere else.
If you put it below,
I'm going to put it above you. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Cool. There's my 5 questions. Thank you, Paul. That was way more interesting than "Can you play this game?"
I have my 5 questions.
Go on then.
5 questions back into your face.
In no particular order, Gav and Luke. Pick your top 5 desert island albums. I know it's a bit of a cliche question, but if you had to go away for a year, desert island, and you could bring 5 albums with you, what would you bring?
Gav, you can go
I can
first.
tell you my ones if you want to.
Go on, Paul. Yeah, go on. Give us yours.
I'll tell you my ones while you guys are thinking. I would pick.
One's Urban Discipline.
Yes, Urban Discipline by Biohazard would be number 1. Do We Speak a Dead Language by Downset be number 2. Age of Quarrel, Cro-Mags, number 3. Gomorrah's Season Ends by Earth Crisis, number 4, and Among the Living for a bit of thrash metal by Anthrax, number 5.
Okay. I'm not going to give you specific albums,
Okay.
but I'm going to give you some art. So I'd want to spread it a bit.
Yeah.
So I'd take something like, I'd want some really horrible, heavy stuff. Like Discharge's latest album's really good. Like something really horrible. Just for those days when you're just like, oh, fuck this. I'm just, you wake up, you realise you're on a desert island and you've got nothing to do, you've got no one with you. And just like, but on the flip side, I'd want something really nice as well. So something like the Weezer Blue album or something. Oh, we were talking the other day, weren't we? And like, I think Outcome the Wolves is like the perfect summer record. There's nothing more perfect about it. So something like that. And then I'd want just a really, like, probably some sort of maybe Portishead or
nice.
Tricky or something like that. Just something you can put
something
on
a little bit mellow and chill.
I like Caius or someone like that as well, like Stoner, because just really relaxes me. So something like that, and then I don't know. Then oh god. Well, because it's the album I heard that not made me want to play guitar, but made me realise that I definitely wanted to start playing guitar. Probably If You Want Blood by AC/DC. I'd just put that in there anyway because it's a great album. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like that. But then there's so much I've left as well.
Yeah, of course. All right, Gav looks like he's concentrating.
Yeah, I was concentrating. I had a bit of time there to think about that.
Okay.
So,
what you got?
So I thought I would pick. Yeah, I thought I'd do a bit of a loop tactic as well. So to pick a variety of styles of stuff, even though that probably annoy me later, but still. So I thought I'd pick, Rancid, Outcome the Wolves. Also because it's got a lot of tracks on it.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of listening.
You're getting a value for money.
Yeah, exactly. And I picked Weezer, the Blue album.
Okay.
Because that's something quite different.
Yeah.
Also, I would pick Life on the James. It's an album by Down to Nothing, which I'm listening to a lot of lately.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. And I would pick Be Good by Off With Their Heads, which I really like. I can listen to that over and over again. And Come Back Kid, Wake the Dead.
Nice. That's a good mix.
Yeah. So, bit of variety.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. Nice. Good answers. All right. The second question. What is your personal favourite wood gig experience? Now, it doesn't have to be a gig. It could be something from the recording studio or the songwriting process. I'm going to give you mine first.
Okay.
Because this is something that Gav alluded to earlier on. This is when 20 Balls Each and Wood were playing, I think, Mullingar. Like a horrible, shitty bar.
We did play Mullingar. It was like it might have been called the Stables. It was
that's
basically
it.
like a
That's
stable.
it. And you guys were playing, and the song was Postman. The one where Gav, the music stops, and Gav shouts out, "I object to your fucking face."
Oh yeah, that's called Neighbours.
Yeah. Neighbours.
Love thy neighbour. That's
it. And you guys were playing, and it stopped, and Gav came towards the microphone to say his bit, and he forgot. And as he forgot, his lip touched the microphone, and he got an electric shock into his face. And I swear, I thought I was going to die laughing. I 100% thought I was going to die. I've never seen anything like it. The look of confusion and then sudden shock on Gav's face is something I will take with me to my grave. It was a beautiful moment. It was so good. Oh, it was amazing. That was my favourite wood gig experience.
Yeah. I enjoyed the one which is on video somewhere. We played McDonald's in Belfast, and some absolutely drunk bloke is off his face, and he walked up and he sort of got on stage and started doing like the robot dance, but kind of really badly. And I can't remember who it is, but one of us says, "This song goes out to that guy. It's about his favourite restaurant."
Do you remember after that we were getting a beer and the barmaid said,
Yes.
She said, I really like that McDonald's song. And we were like, oh yeah. And she went, what was it about?
It's about Burger King.
Burger King.
If we weren't so stunned, we would have said, yeah, but it's about Burger King.
So I've got top three. So
top three.
Number three
Here we go.
would be the hostel we stayed at in Belfast, because that was just
Nightmarish.
incredible. That was just one of the most unbelievable places I've ever been in my life. When you if there'd been a fire, that would have been.
You're
it.
all dead.
We was just forgotten about that.
Is that the one? There was one where a load of us stayed on the top floor, and some drunk blokes kicked the door in the middle of the night. Was it that one?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds
And there
pretty
were some
good.
girls there celebrating their 21st birthday and stuff.
And they were being real quiet, right?
Oh wait,
Yeah, they've
which
been
one?
really
Are you
quiet.
talking about? Oh, Luke's talking about a different one. There's two. There was one. The one I'm thinking of is in Port Rush. We stayed up in the top floor.
Oh, yeah.
Some drunk lads kicked the door in. But yeah, you're thinking. Yeah, I know the Belfast.
Face
one.
Jenga at Port Rush. That would have been another good one, actually. I forgot about that. But playing Jenga on Paul's face.
Face Jenga.
Yeah,
That
face
was
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
good.
Number two for me would probably be the Bash recording, the last recording we did, because that was just the best, like in terms of working with someone who completely got what we were trying to do.
Cool.
It was dead easy to do it with Danny. It was really good.
Yeah, so that's our mate Danny. So hopefully he'll come on and do an episode with us. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that'd be
Danny,
excellent.
Where he
he's
could
done lots
say
of
it's
stuff.
probably the worst weekend of his life, but it was really good. I enjoyed that. But my overall favourite one is the oddest one in the world to pick. But Gav, you'll understand why. It was Jasmine's birthday that we did in Plumley Village Hall. That was just one of the greatest
I've
things
heard
we've
about this.
ever done.
Yeah.
It was the
We haven't
most wood
laughed
thing
the
ever.
most at a gig ever. Yeah.
This
That's
old
amazing.
lady just walking and going, "It's all too loud," and making us turn everything down because they could hear it outside. Like they're like, "Yeah, I mean, you can have a band, obviously, but nobody can hear
but
the
just
band outside
keep
of
it
the
down,
windows."
right?
And it was in Plumley Village Hall, which probably had a capacity of about 800 people.
Yeah.
And there was,
Jesus.
outside of the band, I think there was probably about 6.
And
Seven.
they were like, "Do you know any Beyonce?" Like people shouting at us about Beyonce. And then we were talking about how like we just got drunk, and at one point just had this idea. They were talking about we were about to play fish. And I said, "This is about a goldfish that Gav and I had, and we ended up having to flush it down the toilet. I suppose you can't really do that with horses, can you?" And then we
They're
just
horse-
got this
they're
whole
horse-
whole
horse
thing
people,
about
yeah.
people like trying to push a horse down a toilet, and the four of us could hardly talk. We were just like could hardly breathe, and there's just these stony faced people just staring at you, going,
Just staring at you going,
"Yeah,
what?
it's
Which made
amazing."
it funnier. That was good. I like that.
It's good.
Very cool. Okay, very good. Okay, question number 3.
Yeah,
That's
Are
me. English accent.
you from England as well?
yeah.
As well done, then, mate. All right, you slag. What song would you love to cover, you toilet? So, regardless of the skill level needed, what song
okay.
would you love to cover?
We had a conversation about covering a new song recently, and I can't remember what it was.
Well, I would pick, if I could pick a song to cover, I love this song. It's a song by a French hardcore band called Kickback, and the song is called Like the Worms.
Okay.
That's a great song.
I always thought it'd be really cool to play something in either 20 Balls Each or Wood that wasn't our style. Like,
Yes,
I think it'd
that's
be cool
a very good one.
to do something like, I'd love to do an At the Gates melodic death metal song.
Nice. In
be able to
our
play.
style.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if you could play well, because that's quite a difficult song to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. That's a
So-
great idea. That's brilliant, actually. I like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. What about you,
I
Luke?
would probably go Sky Babies, just because I've played McDonald's with Gav for God knows how many years, which is 2 chords, and generally he's playing the other chord when he's supposed to be playing. So it's C and F,
Amazing.
and Gav's playing F when
Quality
he's supposed
Gav.
to be playing C. So I'd love to see him
Yep.
do Sky Babies, because that would just be, which is a Wild Heart song, which is about 10 minutes long, and it'd just be amazing. Just to,
That would be cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I went. I already can't remember it.
Okay, cool. Question 4. What musician most influenced you? Doesn't have to be guitarist, could be vocalist, could be something else, but is there a musician that has influenced you most?
I can tell you the musician that I wanted to be. Like, if you could have teleported me into one place at one point, I was. So I've had maybe two in my life. When I was much younger, sort of 13, 14, I became absolutely obsessed with Jimi Hendrix. Like, obsessed with him. And I just want to be, and then that sort of morphed into Ginger from the Wild Hearts.
Okay.
Around.
Did either of them influence your musical direction or your
Not
style?
Money, but, well, yes, probably, because definitely the Wild Hearts had a massive influence on that. And I would say the way that I dressed and think so, the way that I dressed, the things I listened to, and everything, all came definitely from getting into the Wild Hearts as much as I did.
Okay, cool. Gav?
Well, yeah, for me, honestly, whilst you were talking about that, I was thinking I have been influenced by, musicians in proper bands, but the honest answer would be like musicians that I played with, especially guitar players. So when I first started playing, I was in a band with this guy called Duncan, and he taught me how to play like Green Day and Nirvana songs and stuff. Then Luke taught me how, and watching and listening to what Luke was playing. And Gar, when we were in 20 Bills each, just learning, he would just have different ways of doing things, different ideas. He would song write, and everyone so Luke would write a song, it would turn out totally different to the way Gar would write a song. And then since I lived in Bristol, Danny and Rob from Layman's Turns, because when I first moved here I was playing bass with those guys, and they were playing guitars and doing loads of cool stuff, and I was like, oh, that's how that happens. And then it's still the same, like when we did our last EP with Wood, I was still learning stuff off the Luke, where he would write stuff. We wrote a song, so normally Luke would write all the lead guitar bits, because obviously a million times better than me. But I wrote one with lead guitar bits, and you were like, I would never write it like that. Not as a criticism, just as it's interesting that you've done
different
it
style.
Yeah.
Different approach. That's a good answer.
To answer the question in terms of people I've been in a band with who I'd like to most be like.
Yeah.
So the person on a personal level, Toby. If I could be like Toby, I was really, he's just got a great outlook on life and his approach to everything.
Good attitude.
Our old the drummer that we did the last tour with us was
the guy with the drum tuning thing.
Black Magic. This is the last question.
Okay.
I've got a bad feeling.
No, that's not.
Okay.
What band did, in your younger years, did you hate, dislike, have no interest in, but now that you're a little bit older and wiser, you're kind of coming around to them, you like them a bit more, you're more open to them?
That's a good question.
My one is I never ever liked Pearl Jam, and I never ever liked Typo Negative. Both of those bands, I had no interest in them in whatsoever. And over the last 3 or 4 years, I've kind of found myself listening to them and going, "What? I don't really get why I had such a block against them." Pearl Jam are a really good band. They're not my favourite band, they still won't be, but I really enjoy their music. Soundgarden, they're another one. Never really got into Soundgarden.
That is
over the last 4 or 5 years.
Almost going to be my answer. Actually, it's going to be. I'm gutted that I've only really got into Soundgarden in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Absolutely, what a waste of time. I think Soundgarden are fucking amazing. And
they're great, absolutely brilliant.
It's interesting. It's really interesting you say that because Pearl Jam are one of those bands I always. Yeah, I would go. I mean, I didn't hate Soundgarden, so that's not the answer. But I wish I picked up on Soundgarden a lot earlier.
Earlier, yeah, same. So, what would your answer be? Kind of Pearl Jam, or
no? My answer would be Super Furry Animals.
Whoa! Okay.
Absolutely anything that basically came under that indie umbrella because the trouble with that was there was this indie umbrella that included fucking shit like Oasis and Blur and Menswear and all that
Pulp
fucking
and all that
awful music by numbers,
Yeah, garbage.
Suede, oh god, Just there's nothing good about these bands. And Super Furry Animals, for me, got lumped under that umbrella because I just
But they're not really like that at all.
No, I started listening to them like a few years back. And well, I actually started working. It was about 20 years ago. I started working with a guy who used to play one of their albums on repeat almost every single morning. And I just started exploring a bit more from that. And actually, really good songwriters, really good songs, really catchy, incredibly. In fact, they might even make it onto my 5 albums to take away because they've got a bit of everything in there. And I just grew up a bit and actually listened to them. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Gav.
I'm going to pick this band, Australian punk band called Frenzel Rob, and they've been around for a long time. And their earlier records didn't really have very good production on them, and the singer's got a really distinctive voice, and I didn't like it very much. And then they sort of disappeared for a few years. And then they played in Bristol about 4 or 5 years ago, and people that I'd met here were going down. So I was like, I'll go down because it's just nice to go and hang out and watch a few bands.
Live music.
And they played, and they were really good. I was like, shit, that was fucking great. And then I
felt like you'd kind of missed out on it.
Yeah, so I got their new albums. The last 2 or 3 albums got really like modern productions, really good. And I was like, I get it now. I get his voice. I know. I see why it works. I can see why people like it. And then I went back and explored their earlier stuff. And because I got into them later, I do like the newer records better. But the old ones, I can still go, they have some really good songs on them.
You have a better appreciation.
Yeah, so but back originally, I had written them off as like, not really into that.
Okay, I'm going to check them out as well.
Yeah, have a listen. So check out the 2 new albums. Also, they have some top quality humour. There's a lot of cunts. Rob from Layman's Terms doesn't like them because he said there's too many cunts. It's basically, they just go around calling everyone cunts.
Never too many cunts.
Never too many cunts.
I mean,
they have a song
too
called
many
Contact.
cunts is basically that's the world, isn't it? That could be
yeah
that could just be.
So they have a good song.
I have one final bonus question.
Go on.
It's a comedy question. It's not a comedy question, but if you had to give up one of these things, what would it be? Cheese or curry?
For me, cheese, because I'm not eating cheese at the moment anyway.
Oh,
so
Jamie.
That was easy, and I do like good curry. And vegan cheese isn't really very nice. Let's be honest.
Doesn't cut it. Doesn't cut the cheese.
Doesn't cut the cheese.
I hated cheese until I started working on delicatessen. And then I worked serving cheese all day, every day, and I started to like it. And it's so weird. And I'd give up cheese.
Yeah, I'd have
curry. Is so
cheese.
Versatile.
I love cheese. There's so many different types of cheese, and it's amazing. But curry is the winner there as well, I think.
By the way, is that your final question? I've got one extra.
That is my final question.
So earlier on, we talked about your categories were who ranked in order, and it was who made you laugh the most, and I was on top, and probably one of the reasons is because I spent more amount of time with you than the other guys.
Yeah.
And I said it probably was from one occasion.
Oh yeah, what was the occasion?
The occasion I was thinking was a different one.
It wasn't the electrocution.
No, I think you laughed more when I tried to rap.
Oh my god,
the Gav Rap.
Luke, you have to put.
I've heard it. Gav Rap. We got it sent.
You have to put it into this video.
Have you got it?
Gav still has it. I'll hunt it down. You can put it at the end of this video.
I will definitely. The Gav Rap was fucking amazing.
For anyone who wants to know, the backstory is me, Gar from 20 Balls Each, and our good mate Davey Gov were doing a little kind of rap hip hop side project thing, tongue in cheek, just taking the piss. But we were in Gar's house, and we were recording and doing stuff. And Gav had to drop something over to Gar to fix a pedal or something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was. And Gav walked in and he was like, "All right, mates, what you doing?" And we were like, "We're recording rap." And you were like, "What?" And we're like, "Just here, you rap." And I handed him a microphone. He's like, I don't know what to say. And I just scribbled down the worst lyrics you can possibly imagine. Absolute dog shit lyrics.
I just remember just like stuff off the top of your head.
Just bullshit, absolute rubbish. And we made Gav rap along to a beat. And
have some of this. Woo!
motherfucker, I'm an absolute prick. I creep up quick behind you and hit you with a brick. Have it. You wake up late at night because there's a noise at your door. I can't read the fucking writing. Yeah. Some shit's on your floor. You open up the door to check if I'm outside. Don't make a noise from the fucking something where I hide. And while you check it out, I'm up the fucking stairs. Before you know what's happening, I've shaved your bitch's hair. Have some in it. That's it.
Egg is in this motherfucker.
I laughed so much that I thought I was going to vomit, and I had to run downstairs in Gar's house. I had to run downstairs and watch the news so I could just stop. I needed to. I felt like I was drowning, and I needed to grab something to stop drowning.
I remember
fucking
struggling
unbelievable.
to breathe.
Oh my god, it was amazing. It was fucking amazing. In the rap, you can hear us laughing our asses off in the background.
That's the best. That's the best time.
And then Gav doing the hypes.
Yeah.
Doing the
And
hypes over.
laughter is like infectious as well, isn't it? So then you get into that circle
fuck
when
me.
someone else starts laughing a lot, then you laugh at it, and yeah.
Oh god, it was
Amazing.
unbelievable. But yeah, we'll get you that, and you can put that in the video.
Brilliant. Awesome.
Quality work.
So I'm going to ask you one final question, and it's a one-word question, one-word answer, okay?
Hit me.
Which, in all your bands that you've played in, and all the gigs you've done, which was the best band you've played with?
Hard response.
SNFU, like Canadian punk band.
Probably Sam I Am.
Excellent.
All right, dudes.
That was great.
That was
Chat.
brilliant.
That was
That was
quality.
really interesting, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's flown by. An hour and a half has just flown by.
An hour and a
That
half.
was-
Are you serious? Holy shit.
Yeah. It was really good. Thanks, mate.
Cool,
I really
man.
appreciate you doing that. Really interesting stuff.
Thanks for having me on, dudes. It's good to talk
Is
to
there
you
anything
again.
you want to
Long
say?
time. I love you both.
Cool. Anything you want to promote?
Not really.
Good.
You can just put a link up to my Instagram doodle
Will do.
page. That'll be it. Yeah.
We'll put it here.
Put it
Yeah.
totally. Put it right there.
I said we can put the link to that in the description below,
Yeah, we will do. Yeah.
which is going to be there.
We will do. We will do that.
Yeah. What's this? Yeah. What's this wee business?
Cool. All right. Thank
All
you
right,
both very
dudes.
much. It's lovely
All
to
right.
Thanks
speak
for
to you.
having me on.
See you
No
later,
worries.
Paul.
Stay safe,
See you
dudes.
later on. Cool.
Yeah.
Peace.
Take care, everyone. It's slightly harder when Damo isn't focused. Like, at least he was sat looking at a computer screen this time, so we could say to him, Damo, and within sort of like 2 minutes he'd go, yeah. As opposed to Gav detailing the entire plan for the day, and then Damo going, right, I think I'll have a shower. Just walking off.
He just goes.
Yeah. It's brilliant. But like Damo gets the brunt of this all the time, doesn't he? Whenever we talk, but I don't think there's anyone I know who knows Damo that would change a single thing about Damo.
He's a good dude.
The best thing about Damo is the fact that he's Damo, and like the worst thing about Damo is the fact that he's Damo, and it's just it's like the perfect. It's brilliant. Yeah.
I still remember meeting him for the first time when I actually met all you guys for the first time when you came over to play, and we were going to hit the road. You guys were in your van.
Yeah.
We had piled all our gear into maybe the Gavmobile.
Yeah, I think it was I had a golf at the time,
And we kind of then realised, well, there's not enough room for everyone in the Gavmobile. And I just said, fuck it, I'll go in with the Wood lads. And I got in the back of the van, and I was just I was sitting there, and I think it was, who was driving the Woodmobile?
Ollie would have been driving.
So it was you.
actually, Wood wasn't actually there, it was Wilder Attack.
Koala Attack, sorry.
Yeah.
Absolutely, my mistake.
Would have been
Koala
me,
Attack.
Ollie, Damo, and probably John.
Yeah, that
John,
was
was it John the drummer?
Yeah, and you had
Yeah.
someone else who was there, like helping carry and
James.
stuff. Was it James, or was that when Piss Flaps came? I don't remember.
Might have been Flaps or James, but you know, I mean, they're basically the same person.
I can't remember, but I got into the back of the van, and Damo was just, all right, and I said, "How's it going?" And he just handed me. He just goes, "Here, read this," and handed me the Profanosaurus.
Or the
It was
Bible.
amazing.
He
a
says
picture
Bible, isn't it?
Yep.
And a picture of
really
a
is.
dick on the front of it, if I remember right.
Yeah, just a little badly drawn Mickey jipping.
Quality.
Great stuff.
Yeah, I remember you getting out the back of the van when we packed up, and you got out the back of the van, and everyone went, "How was that, Paul?" And you were just like, "Oh, I'm not really sure what happened," but you know, I don't know. Like, I think Damo's the only person I know that you could put him in a room with anyone. I mean, literally anyone.
Absolutely.
He would find something to talk to Hitler about. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but he would somehow
Cars,
be like,
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's a torture device. Yeah, Iron Maiden's a torture device, isn't it? Have you heard this version of Run to the Hills or something like that? And it would just be like, it's like Ollie's son Milo. Well, I mean, Milo's 14, 15 now, but he was like, when he was born, he wasn't. And Damo's known him all his life. And I've never been like, I've been out and we'll have been sort of sat around in the pub having a few beers and stuff, and Damo will be with us and Milo will be there.
Mm.
And Milo's like 10 or so, and Damo is able to sit there and converse with him about computer games, and then just talk to Milo perfectly, and then flip round, just join in a conversation with us, and then go back to Milo. And like, even when he lived with Ollie, he could have conversations with Barney the dog, and like they just sit there and have conversations, and like it's just amazing. It's amazing, and it's like the best thing in the world. And like everyone should be more Damo.